Good morning. It will seem strange to most of you that lately I've thought a lot about something the Irish writer Oscar Wilde wrote in the 19th century. He wrote, "Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth remembering can be taught." Certainly seems strange that a school head would dwell on such a statement, but that's for another time and another talk. While thinking about Oscar Wilde, however, I ran across something else that he said that connects with this meditation. I'll quote, "Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go." Of course, each of us would prefer to be known for spreading happiness wherever we go rather than learn that others are happier when we're not around. But Wilde's statement made me think more deeply about what creates real happiness and what happiness really means. To quote the Dalai Lama, "Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions." Now, he was talking about creating happiness for one's own self rather than for others, as Wilde does. But each writer's point about happiness directs the question to us as individuals. How do I create happiness for others and for me? Real happiness, the deep, lasting kind, as opposed to the momentary happiness we experience when we laugh at a good joke or taste great food or enter a warm building when it's freezing cold outside. Real happiness comes from doing good, from making a difference, from improving someone else's life or the lives of many people. That's why I believe so strongly in our school motto, "Enter to learn, go forth to serve," and why I point out so often that service actually is a selfish act, because it brings us the most meaningful and lasting joy. So I had been ruminating on Oscar Wilde and the happiness question for a while, and then last week, while on vacation, I ran across a story about Terry and Kim Pegula, who 2.5 years ago gave $88 million to Penn State University. The largest private donation ever made to Penn State. It was given to build an ice hockey arena so the university could establish a varsity ice hockey team, which I know many of you would approve of. Later, the couple gave $14 million more to endow with scholarships for the athletes who would be recruited for the ice hockey team, thus creating a total gift of $102 million. Let's roll it over your tongue a little bit. $102 million. I had several reactions to this story. First, I just felt awed by the size of the gift. St. Luke's annual operating budget makes up a fraction of that gift. The price tags for our athletic center and this performing arts center that we are sitting in were even smaller fractions of that gift, as will be the costs to build future facilities for our school. $88 million is a lot of money. Second, I'm sure you're not surprised that I started to imagine what a gift of that magnitude would do for St. Luke's. For $88 million, we could operate the school tuition-free for more than 5 years. Or we could purchase 440,000 panini makers, which would mean 828 of them for each St. Luke's student. Imagine lunch without panini lines forever. On $88 million, or $88 million could create an endowment that would support our financial aid budget forever, even if we increased it by 50%. That doesn't even consider the additional $14 million the couple added to their original gift. A few years ago, as part of a planning exercise, we asked people to dream big and imagine what they would do if, by some miracle, St. Luke's came into $30 million. Participants in the exercise expressed giddy excitement over that unimaginable prospect, and their ideas for using the money ranged from increasing financial aid and faculty compensation to creating new programs and building new facilities. We thought $30 million would transform our school, but we never even imagined a number as large as $88 million. My job description includes responsibility for raising the funds St. Luke's needs for all the important purposes I just mentioned. That's because the school's tuition does not cover all the costs of a St. Luke's education. Rather than charge a higher tuition that would make it harder for more people to attend the school, we hope people will make enough donations to make up the difference. So, if one of you makes a fortune one day, and surely one of you will, and decides to remember your St. Luke's experience with gratitude, your dear alma mater will gratefully accept your $88 million check. Now, many would criticize Mr. and Mrs. Pegula for giving their enormous gift, the largest in the university's history, to create an ice hockey program rather than support other priorities. I am not one of those critics, but not because I have great memories of playing high school hockey and playing intramural hockey in college, though I do cherish those memories. I'm not a critic because I believe everyone has the right to spend their money as they see fit, as long as they don't hurt anyone in doing so. That's even more true when people donate to a cause, an act known as philanthropy. I might wish they gave to causes in which I believe, such as St. Luke's or Inspirica or Waterside School, but I support their right to make their own choices about their own personal resources. Giving, whether $5 or $88 million, should feel good because it's a form of service. So it should spring from a passion, a desire to do good, to improve lives, or an institution, or the world. The Pegula's passion for Penn State and for hockey led them to make a transformational gift to the school they love. Most of us do not have $88 million to give away. Still, it's a useful and thought-provoking exercise to think about what you would do with it if you had it. Would you try to improve world health and education, as Bill and Melinda Gates have decided to do with their billions? Would you make it possible for Inspirica to house and give a decent life to thousands of people? Would you endow the St. Luke's financial aid budget so more students could afford to come here? Or buy a lifetime supply of 3D printers for Mr. Mitchell? Or build us a hockey rink, domed football and baseball stadiums, an underground parking garage, and a private dining room for the faculty? Although I'm being silly with some of these suggestions, my point is that you can choose to make a difference according to your interests and your passions. It's worth thinking about such choices because you face them whether or not you have a fortune to donate. Since most of us do not have big money to give away, and since you are students working hard at school rather than at an income-producing job, let's look at what we can do that's good, that improves lives and the world. How, in other words, can each of us contribute to the greater good, thereby becoming philanthropic, without $88 million or without any money at all? In fact, each of us has something to give. Each of us has time and the choice of how to use it. Each of us makes many daily decisions about how we spend our time. Those decisions define us, for better or for worse. How will you choose to use your time? How will you define yourself? Seniors, what will you do with the short time you have left at St. Luke's? A little more than 2 months. Will you give? Will you, in fact, give back by the force of your good example as students and citizens of the school? Or will your desire for short-term fun and a feeling that your prior hard work gives you the right to slack off now trump your opportunity to contribute to the common good at St. Luke's through your earnest effort? I'm looking at my advisees right now. Will you earn the respect of teachers, inspire younger students, and leave a positive legacy for yourself and your class by giving school your best effort and looking for opportunities to improve your community? These choices are yours to make. Make them well. In fact, these choices are all of ours to make. The more we make them well now, the more we define a meaningful personal philanthropy, our way of making the world around us better. And the beautiful thing is, we don't need $88 million to do it. As Mother Teresa said, let us more and more insist on raising funds of love, of kindness, of understanding, of peace. Have a wonderful day.